everyone, and this is Colin Kelly.
And I'm Jackson Lanzing.
And we're here for Comics Online, kicking butt.
Like that?
All right, you got it.
Brah, brah,
Tenants.
brah. Yeah, I got it.
Guys, you're writing so many characters across so many publishers in so many universes. Yeah. Let's start off with Terry McGinnis, The World of Batman Beyond. I've read the first issue of your new book.
Oh,
it's fantastic. This is coming out after, no spoilers.
Yeah,
for,
5 days from now, so
yeah.
no spoilers
so
for 5 days.
It'll come out after.
Exactly.
But where did the exploration of this part of Gotham come from as far as you guys and breaking the story?
So everything that Colin and I do starts from a conversation. We are ultimately, as a hive mind, right? As we call ourselves, we as a duo, everything we do starts from us just talking and figuring out something that we both deeply love. And so with Terry McGinnis, in large part, that was us talking about the old show, talking about what the character meant to us, talking about where we could take the character. And back in Neo Year, it was about how do we take this character and move him from being a apprentice Batman to standing on his own as Batman with Bruce Wayne out of the picture, right? So when we took on Neo-Gothic, it had to be a story about what it means to challenge that new self-actualized version of Terry McGinnis as Batman.
Yeah, we knew that we wanted to take him into a darker part of his story. Much like Bruce, without having, we're moving into his second year, you need to be alone. You need to be isolated, and that's what Terry's discovering. And once we realized if darkness and isolation was going to be thematically what he was going to be facing, the only place we could take him is down.
So Neo-Gothic takes us deep underneath Gotham into what we call the Undergoth, a whole area of Gotham that has been buried and built on top of the Gotham City that we know from the Batman books, forever. Now, dark, decaying, falling apart, and hiding all manner of secrets, both from Bruce Wayne and from the rest of the DC universe, that we're going to be slowly unfolding for Terry over the course of Neo-Gothic 6 issues.
And since we are talking spoilers, you have a killer reveal at the very end.
A killer reveal. Yes, indeed. A certain...
Wait, are we?
Croc?
We can just talk about it. We can talk about it.
He's on the cover.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Okay,
a certain Croc is back.
And I've been trying to get a dinosaur, I've been trying to get a dragon into one of these DC books forever. We got a chance with Dark Knight's Metal to do some of that, but then bringing him into it, we chatted with Max Dunbar, our amazing artist, and we're like, what about a giant kick-ass killer Croc? And he was like, it's done.
Yeah.
It's in the movie.
Yeah. Kaiju Croc came very quickly.
One of the things I appreciated for your first Batman Beyond arc was the fact of, you have some characters that are like, okay, this isn't a repeat from one of Bruce's villains.
Right.
There was a specific line calling out of, this isn't just, a rebooted version. You're getting to explore the world, but however, it's exploring Terry's Rogues Gallery a little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah. So a big part of that for us was that... So Terry McGinnis's Rogues Gallery, as cool as they are, and there's a bunch of really cool characters in there. I love Ink, I love Spellbinder, I love Blight. They're cool characters. But, frankly, I don't think they're actually very reflective of Terry. They're all Spider-Man villains. They're all characters who are like science experiments and mentors who, or science experiments and love interests, or people with too much power and no responsibility. It's all very Spider-Man-y, because that was sort of the pitch on Batman Beyond, is what if Batman but Spider-Man? Our take on Terry McGinnis is that Terry McGinnis is a man who is defined by legacy and defined by the carrying of a burden that was put upon him by the biggest superhero of all time, right? So what does it mean to carry forward that legacy? And that meant we had to create villains who anchored that same idea, right? So the villains in Neo Year are all people who deal with legacy. It's Donovan Lumos, who is the very nature of corporate legacy and what it means to be a young upstart taking on a corporate legacy and twisting it to your own means. It's just Stalt, a character who has, in the sort of legacy of Catwoman, turned crime into heroism, but has also done that by subsuming their humanity. It's the living Gotham, the living nature of Gotham's legacy, right? Sword of Gotham, same thing. All of these characters are designed to reflect back Terry, rather than reflecting the idea of Terry. When we came to Neo-Gothic, however, it was a really exciting opportunity for us to say, rather than trying to build villains that were new villains that were directly reflective, we're going to keep using the toys we made. Donovan Lumos is still here, Beam Boom Ma's still here, Gestalt still here. So as we introduce new villains, quote unquote, what we're actually doing is looking at what's left from Batman's rogues gallery that could have something to say to Terry. What is it about Killer Croc? What is it about the Court of Owls? And what is it about what we're going to find even below that? What are we going to discover there that can challenge Terry's conception of carrying on a legacy and what it means to do that?
Well, a lot of legacies lift you up, and this is very specifically about the kind of legacies that drag you down.
Yeah. And then that is where there's a character who's on the Christian Ward cover, so people can kind of see him now. He's also, I think, on the main cover for issue 2, named Kyle. Kyle is a cat boy. They're splicer cat people who are literally Max drew into one panel in Neo Year, and we were like, we love them. They're in the book now. And we knew that we wanted a character who was going to be dealing with his own version of Terry's struggle of having a legacy that is very complicated. Kyle is a legacy. I'm not going to tell you to who or how or why yet. That's a big part of the book. But how that legacy plays out with Terry and how their friendship develops over that mutual understanding is like, that's the core of the book, man.
To the surprise of no one, it is a book about friendship.
Yep. We wrote another book about working with your best friend.
Whoops.
Oops.
You know, I really appreciated just the interactions of the first issue between Kyle and Terry's reluctance to just give over his identity, you know, to this random cat person he just met.
Yep.
And getting the backstory for both of them and just getting to dive in that very subtly, it was just a lot in a short amount of time. Yep. And the impact from that sequence, I thought, really helped to hone in some of the layers of the book.
I'm really glad.
Yep, it's going to carry through the entire story. I mean, that's where it launches. That's where the seed is planted, and it's going to become the whole point.
The book is about the two of them.
Okay.
This book is far less about punching a villain in the face and far more about looking in a mirror and seeing yourself.
Well, and what it means when a young man kind of imprints on you, and suddenly it's like you have a protege to a certain degree. Like, Kyle is not a Robin,
no.
But in the vibe of a young person who starts to really be influenced by you, and that kind of responsibility it brings to you is really core to what their relationship is going to be.
1,000%.
And on that note, there was also a nice reference back to Selena, of course. And I loved how it's Holy Selena and just the reverence that, you know, she has with the Splicers. Does that get explored a little bit more?
Absolutely, yeah. We're not going to spend a lot of time directly dealing with Selena, if only because she is off the table by the time that we get there. Part of the point of her is that, point of using her at all, was that Neo-Gotham needs to always feel like a place that is steeped in the Batman legacy but has interpreted it differently. So the idea of having a Catwoman character that isn't Catwoman, right, felt really important to us. And having Catwoman having sort of gone into legacy, having gone into legend, and having people reframe what she meant as something rebellious and punk and cool. She's like the way that like young musicians now look at Madonna or whatever and are like, oh, like an icon, right? Like that's what Selena is to these people.
Yeah.
We will explore Catboy culture, which is really where we're going to find that. It's like, what does it mean to be part of this gang? What does it mean to live inside of this ecosystem? We're going to be dealing with that legacy very directly as the book goes on, as we understand more about Kyle.
And it's going to break your heart.
Yeah, it's really sad. Issue 4 has some truly beautiful, very sad cat-on-cat violence. So, trigger warning.
We are two cat dads.
Yeah, we love cats.
We just love cats.
Yeah, so we really use this as an ability to like do something that felt very personal and very heartfelt for us.
So our friends at DC also revealed that there is a new book coming out from you two.
Yes.
A little thing called Outsiders.
Outsiders is go.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Can you talk about your lineup? Anything you want to share as far as where this core group came from for you two?
Certainly. One of the things, obviously, that we really approach with everything is kind of character first, right? And when we started realizing and exploring this concept, there are these two characters, Luke Fox and Kate Kane, who coming out of Gotham War are going to be very disillusioned with what Batman, with what Gotham really stands for. And once we
It's the whole superheroing game.
Yeah. So we saw those characters kind of, and we saw an opportunity to step them out of the shadow that they were living in and start to explore these stranger, darker, more unexamined corners of the DC universe, which is frankly something that we have always wanted to do, as the stories that we love perhaps are retconned, are crisised out of existence, and it leaves dangling threads that we as fans are hungry to know.
And so what we decided to do was to look at, rather than trying to take these two and put them into a situation where they were dropping into war zones and being agents of the Bat or like whatever it was, we wanted to see what it looked like to do a book that wasn't anchored on violence, to do a Batman book or a Bat-style book that's anchored on empathy and understanding and investigation and archaeology. And so that's where we took our cues and our inspirations, not from like punch 'em up books or Batman books, but from like Star Trek and Indiana Jones. And like, what are these stories where you dig into history and try to understand yourself by looking into the unknown? And so every issue of Outsiders, it's a 12-issue maxi series. Every issue of Outsiders is going to be a one-shot, oversized like exploration of some interesting, weird corner of the DCU. Issue 1 is going to be a huge swing, and I can't believe they let us take it. Issue 2 is a huge swing, and I can't believe they let us take it.
Honestly,
every single issue of Outsiders is a huge swing that I can't believe they're letting us take. It's a dream project for us. We literally, when we pitched it, we had 2 backup pitches because we were like, they're never going to greenlight this. So we have 2, so we'll pitch this so we can kind of get the no out of the way, and then we'll pitch the other stuff that they're definitely going to greenlight. And Ben Abernathy, the executive editor at DC, he cut us off halfway through the first pitch and said, guys, you're pitching me this? And he sort of like re-described the book, and we're like, yeah. And he goes, I've been waiting for somebody to pitch this to me for like a decade. Yes, let's go. Like, we never even pitched the backups. And that's how sort of fruitful a storytelling space DC is right now for us. We really just get to take the weird swings and do the stuff that really matters to us. And it's a joy, man. It's a joy.
DC was the first ones to really take a big swing on us, so we're bringing it right back, and we're taking a big swing with them.
Yeah.
So we only have another minute or so. Who else can we say is joining Kate and Lucius on their quest?
Gonna have to read the book.
Yeah,
okay.
You're gonna have to read the book. What I will say is you'll note on the cover that there are 3 people on the Outsiders. There's a third one. She is holding a drumstick, and that is literally all I'm gonna say about her. You will discover who she is in the book.
Okay. Well, guys, we're going to talk about a few of your other projects over the week of Comic-Con, so thank you so much, and
Wonderful.
Stay tuned for more DC coverage at Comics Online.